Okay, now picking up from the last video, now we're dealing with a plus and a minus. The first example will be 1 over 2 plus 1 over 4. Alright, so now we look for what is called a lowest common denominator. What it means is that that number that you get should be divisible by the number at the bottom, the numbers at the bottom for all the terms, the denominators. These are the denominators, and the ones on the top are the numerators. So here we look for the lowest common denominator, the lowest number that can be divided by by all the terms, right? Here it will be 8. So bear in mind, this number shouldn't have a remainder. So here it's 8, can be divided by 4 without a remainder, can be divided by 2 without a remainder, and is the lowest. So this is the order that we take now after finding the lowest common denominator. How many times does 2 go into 8? 4 times. Now you take the answer. 4, you multiply by the number on top, which is 1. 4 times 1 is 4, right? You take it down as it is. So now this is the order. Right, 2 into 8, 4, 4 times 1, right? Make sure you understand it. Now you take the sign as is, you take it down like that, and then you do the same with the next term until all the terms are completed, regardless of how many they are. So it's 2 into 8 twice, 2 times multiplied by 1, 2. So now it's going to be 6 over 8. Now you can simplify further from there, which is, how many times does 2 go into 6? 3 into 8, 4 times. Now that's your answer. Second example, 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3. Right? What is the lowest common denominator? 6. 6 is divisible by 2 and 3, right? So how many times does 2 go into 6? 3 times. 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. Take down the sign. 3 into 6 twice. 2 times 1, 2. So it's going to be 1 over 6, right? And that's pretty straightforward. Let's deal just before. Now, if you look at 2, right? 2 divided by 1 is 2, right? So that's why there's a rule called saying any number divided by that number is that number, right? Divided by 1, sorry, any number divided by 1 is that number, just as 2 divided by 1 is 2. So basically any number is a fraction. Even if you are not told, you have to know that it's that number divided by 1. For instance, 4. You have to know that 4, as it is, it's not written as a fraction, but you have to know that it's a fraction. You can just divide it by 1. It's a fraction. It's that number at the end of the day. Understood? So now we're gonna look at 1 over 2 minus 3, right? If they give it to you like that, you follow the same procedure. You just divide by 1, find your LCD, equals to 2, which is quite easy. 2 into that once, 1, minus twice, 6, right? So here we look at the dominant side. The other thing again, any number that doesn't have a sign on it, just know that it's positive, right? So when you're adding numbers, you look at the dominant sign. Dominant sign here is a minus. So minus is going to take precedence. So it will be minus 5, which is 6 minus 1, which 6 meaning it's a dominant sign, divide by 2. That's how you end up with the 5 there, right? So in a case where you have similar signs like minus 2 and minus 3, you are going to add them based on the fact that their signs are the same, right? So you're going to add them based on the sign. So the sign is minus, and then you add. Similarly, if they were both positive, you just take one sign and you add them, right? It's going to be positive 5, just like that. Please don't confuse them. If they are not the same and they are not equal, take the dominant one. If it was 7 minus 6, that's what you do, right? 7 is dominant and it's positive. So you go 7 minus 6 because they're not the same, right? So you end up there. So now back to fractions. And we continue in the next video. Click the like button. Thank you.